Russwater RPG, the action economy. All actions in a 6-second round are seen as taking place at the same time. There is no initiative. Players usually go first in a round, then the enemies have their turn. A player can choose to have their turn after the enemies. Most combatants are seen to be able to finish their actions within the round regardless of their turn order, or if actions occurring in the round mean they will become incapacitated next round. The idea of going first in a round meaning you will be able to drop an enemy instantly and stopping them from having their turn in the round is generally not true. This takes pressure off the turn order. PCs get 1 action and 1 movement per round. They can include movement. You can move up to 30 feet in an action. Attack. PCs get 1 attack at level 1 and extra attacks at levels 5, 11, and 17. PCs with extra attacks can use them even if their main action is not an attack. Maneuver. These tactical actions are available to all adventurers and combine common combat flourishes into an action, potentially applying short-term temporarily conditions and effects. Abilities. Leveled spells and abilities take an action. Reaction. A reaction takes 1 action and happen after a trigger. Free actions don't require you to use an action. If you are converting over 5e actions to the system, 5e standard actions, bonus actions, and reactions all take 1 action. The GM and players describe what they plan to do first, and then dice are rolled, and then the GM describes how the action in the round played out. Damage and healing is tallied at the end of the round, and most actions performed in a round that affect other combatants only take effect in the next round. Players can choose to use their action to react to something occurring in this round. They choose to have their turn after the enemies. Common examples of defensive actions like dodge, evasion, shield, and resistance are combined into 1 mechanic, potentially mitigating incoming attacks/damage described later in the document. Combatants may also use other actions to leave or potentially suspend their part in combat by fleeing, negotiating, or surrender. Leaving combat may risk other outcomes like being captured, surrendering something, being robbed, paying a ransom to avoid meeting a more grisly fate. Combat, depending on the table play, could be either theater of the mind or on 1-inch square grid paper with each square representing 5 feet, depending on the situation at the time. The combatants represented as figurines on a square and wooden 1-inch blocks used to approximate terrain. Attacking. There are 4 main styles of attack: melee, ranged, psychological, and spells. Melee weapons usually associate with strength. Ranged weapons use dexterity. Psychological/spells attacks use mental ability scores. Players can use their action to make attacks. PCs start with 1 attack per action. They gain an extra attack as part of their action at levels 5, 11, and 17. In this combat model, the standard to hit rolls and damage rolls are combined into a standard combat roll of a d20. The attack does the amount rolled in damage. Rolling a 20 is a critical success, meaning in addition to 20 HP of damage, the attack breaks a target's concentration, ending any spell or ability they are concentrating on, and they lose their action next round. Rolling a 1 is a critical failure, meaning the attack does no damage. The failure breaks PC's concentration, ending any spell or ability they are concentrating on, and they lose their action next round. Movement. Using the movement action, PCs can move up to 30 feet in an action. There are 3 ranges: melee range, standard ranged, or long ranged. Melee range. Melee range is an attack within 5 feet. Standard ranged. Standard ranged attacks are made within the stated range of the weapon or spell. This is usually up to 120 feet depending on the weapon/attack. You cannot attack someone with a ranged attack when they are behind cover. Attacks where the target is partially covered, for instance there are other combatants in the way, are made with disadvantage. Long-ranged. Long-ranged attacks are made within the stated maximum range of a weapon or double the stated range of a spell. This could be up to 600 feet depending on the weapon/attack. Long-range standard attacks are made by rolling a d20 with only a 20 hitting and anything else is a miss. The idea behind this is to make these attacks like volley fire or long-ranged sniper attacks. Out of range. Out of range is deemed that the target is too far away for the attack type. Attacks of opportunity. There is effectively no attacks of opportunity. They are normal attacks requiring an action. Jump. PCs can normally jump 10 feet as an action. Having advantage in either strength or dexterity ability scores increases jump by 10 feet, disadvantage reduces by 5 feet. This means a PC with advantage in both strength and dexterity could jump 30 feet. Hide. When you take the hide action, you make a dexterity, stealth, check in an attempt to hide. If you succeed, you become unseen. Dodge. Shield, resistance, evasion, and disengage. Common ways of reducing damage are combined into one mechanic. The action is available to all creatures and takes one action. The PC/creature can use this action defensively, choosing to try and mitigate all attacks received in this round. The attacks need to equal or better the chosen defending ability score, or do no damage. These actions can include up to 15 feet of movement as part of the action. This is particularly useful if a creature is fleeing combat. Saving throws. In this system, saving throws are rolled by the attacker. Same as combat rolls, saving throws target an ability score. The attacker tries to roll a d20 equal or higher than the defending ability score. If more than one creature is potentially affected by the attack, the roll is made once but applied to each creature's defending ability score. So saving throws are effectively the same as the standard combat roll, but usually only used for damage from abilities or from the environment. The help action. A creature can lend aid to another creature in the completion of a task. When taking the help action, the creature aided gains advantage on the next ability check it makes to perform the task helped with, provided it makes the check in the same round. The healing ability. All PCs have the healing ability and can spend their own HP to heal others up to 30 feet away. The ability takes one action and heals 1 HP. The healing ability can be performed in or outside combat. Healing another transfers HP from one healing creature to the creature being healed. No additional HP are created in the process, and the healer must have HP to give to perform the healing ability. The description of a PC using the healing ability can be altered to suit the character's theme. The mechanical benefits remain the same. Healing magic, healing potions, and healer's kits. Healing magic does not create additional hit points. It only allows a healer to transfer their HP to the creatures they are healing faster than the standard healing ability. Healing potions. Healing kits are used to restore HP to a creature without requiring the HP to come from the person attempting to heal. Use of a healing potion or a healer's kit requires an action. You can only benefit from one healing potion or application of a healer's kit per hour. Reaching 0 hit points and death. When a creature ends a round on 0 HP or lower, they are deemed alive but are out of any combat taking place, cannot return, and cannot take actions until they have taken a rest. They also sustain 1 level of exhaustion. Exhaustion. Each level of exhaustion incurs a stacking -1 penalty to all rolls. If a creature reaches 10 levels of exhaustion, they are dead. Long resting for 8 hours reduces 1 level of exhaustion. Killing dying/incapacitated/unconscious creatures. Any attack against a creature on 0 hit points will kill the creature outright. Creatures on 0 hit points will actively avoid further combat and being instantly killed. It is an active decision and an action to kill a dying/incapacitated/unconscious creature. You must decide to do so. Resurrected or revivified creatures. If a creature is resurrected or revivified, they return on 0 hit points and 9 levels of exhaustion. They must rest before continuing.